Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to this Blades in the Dark Cult of the Circle. Thank you very much for joining us here for an evening of daring do and lovely crimes. My name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be your Blade Master for the evening. The city of Doskvol. A city of intrigue and wickedness. A city where the dead walk the streets and ghosts haunt every building. What you're about to see this evening is the tale of some criminals, entrepreneurs here in this terrifying city, and maybe a few little ghosts and ghoulies, maybe even a few gods to keep you entertained this evening. I have been keeping you for far too long, so it is my delight to introduce you to some of our players and our sponsors.
Hello, my name is Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing who uses any pronouns. She is a foreign research student at Doskvol Academy, conducting research into shadows and how they interact with the undead. Also has a weird thing for jam. We'll see if it comes up and becomes plot relevant or not.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'll be playing Hag, who is the Whisperer. If you have any issues with ghosts, she's the one to call. And obviously, she lives with two grannies who are amazing and knit everything. Jam! Oh no.
Hello there, my name's Josh, and I will be playing Wraith, the Spider. Wraith has come from a land far, far away and is currently in the process of hunting down a group known as the Faceless. Will he succeed? Will there be jam? We don't know. Let's find out.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection.
Big love to our D20 Club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 Club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
You can find us on social media by searching Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you can't join us live and also want to see any of our previous episodes, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or your favourite podcast provider by searching Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And we are back. I hope you all had a lovely time at Lord Skurlock. Wasn't touching your cornflakes. Refreshed Lord Skurlock just eating a bowl of cereal, just going, it's good for what ails me. Technically, I don't need to eat.
I'm just doing it because it's yours.
Oh no, now you can't get this. So, in this delightful one-on-one, Iris, no known last name, had a day out on the town. She, having been shot in the hand a couple of weeks ago, currently has it in a sling. Steve didn't mention that. I think you've seen Steve since the injury that you got. That's the point. We'll loop back to this anyway. Iris had started investigating into vampires and talking to a merchant at the Char Hollow market. Discovered not a lot that she didn't already know, but has bought a charm, which supposedly will drive the vampires back. She knows that vampires are ghosts that have stayed around too long to the extent of wiping out the host's personality, and she knows. I don't think I said this, but like vampires we know, they consume energy like ghosts do. It's believed it's blood, but you, as a ghost, sort of you haven't picked up on drinking blood. It's been sort of life force, but maybe it's different for vampires. She also knows that old stories used to talk about how vampires would burn in the light of the sun, but after the cataclysm of 1,000 years ago, the gates of death were flung wide open and the sun was destroyed. Thus, Doskvol is in perpetual dusk, and the ghosts wander the world, and that is why the city of Doskvol is surrounded by the large electrical towers that drive back the ghosts to keep them in the Deadlands. Yes, I think that's a roundabout. Wait, I was like, I'll loop back to that, and I was like, what point was I trying to make? I got excited. I'm sure we'll come back.
It's fine.
Yes, actually, that was the point. So you very clearly injured your hand. What did you tell your old ladies, and what have you been telling people who do ask about it?
My old ladies know everything. I don't lie to my ladies.
You just
I might reel back the danger a little bit in the tales, but if I get shot in the hand, I tell them I get shot in the hand.
Did you say who shot you in the hand?
Yeah.
So you said it was.
Yeah.
It said it was
I
one
tell
of
them
the
things.
sisters.
Yeah, I tell them things. Don't lie.
They went very quiet when they heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very concerned about you. Did you tell Steve why you?
No, Steve. No, Steve's all right, but I don't tell Steve. That kind of thing.
So you just said you hurt your hand, and
I just cut it. I just fell on something
you
sharp.
got to be careful with a knife.
I know.
Yeah. My aunt managed to chop off most of her little finger one time.
That's horrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the best we, couldn't afford a doctor, weren't going to take her to the butcher's, so she kept it in a jar, actually.
Yeah. That sounds fun, actually. Is she still got it? Does she want to sell it?
I mean, if you're interested in buying my aunt's missing finger, I'm sure we can arrange something.
I am a little bit now, yeah. Maybe next time. Next time, yeah? Yeah.
I'm willing to start a clock if you want to invest.
Iris likes weird.
Yeah. I watched a TV show with which was about an American where they're running like a curio shop, and just this guy was like, "These are from my aunt's surgery. These are like spinal screws. Do you have anything else that's weird?" And it was like buying like a skull with it's the same sort of thing where you just you have probably gone to other parts of the town where there have been auctions of the weird and the bizarre.
Love it. Love every second of it. I don't have a lot of money to spend on it, but I love it.
No. Actually, what's one weird bit of because if we're going back to your room, you've got like a little shelf.
Yep.
What's one item that's on your shelf which is like
an eyeball in a jar?
Eyeball in the jar.
Eyeballs are the windows to the soul, connected to ghostiness. Creepy eyeball.
What colour's the eye?
Grey.
Grey eye. Okay. Is it like the size of a jam jar, or is it bigger? Just sort of not the eye, the jar. So like
a jam jar.
Jam jar. Okay. Amazing. So there's just an eye on your little shelf that overlooks your mattress.
I love that thing.
Absolutely beautiful. Iris, you have bought your charm. As I said, it's a piece of wood with carved in and sort of like red paint painted into the grooves. It's on a piece of thread, so you can wear that around your neck quite safely. Nothing unusual about that. I think a lot of your other charms you can wear. Anything else you'd like to do in the market?
If there's anyone else I know, I say hello. I do the rounds. I don't come out often. I'm all right, mate. Yeah. How's your granddad?
Yeah. You check in with various people. They ask about your arm. You say that you cut yourself. They basically. As I said, this is a part of town for the workers. A lot of people in this part of town are missing body parts. You know, it's in fact, as you're sort of you're walking around the market, if you look up to the north, like across the canals, there is the Strangford House, and that is owned by the Strangford family out on their own personal island, a man-made hill. Now, the Strangfords own most of the factories in this part of town, and it is tradition. Like every time that you can say, you give it the evil eye.
Yeah.
You know, just everyone in the town hates them.
I don't hate them.
But they are, but they run. That's the thing. They think they run the town, just a little bit, but no. And in fact, make me a consort if that's okay. Just as you're talking to people.
3. I seem to just be rolling a lot of 3s, which is not a fail.
It's a fail.
It's not a fail. Not a fail.
Again, I'm being nice to you. I'm not giving you
I appreciate it.
Again, a member of this society. You are quite reserved, though. I think that's safe to say. That you're not unhospitable, but you don't you don't leave your house that much, it seems. No. But you like Char Hollow is itself its own society, really. Everyone take care of everyone else. It's a nice, there's crime, but it's that sort of thing of like going, the people who rob wouldn't rob that guy because he's having a hard time. You know, they'll rob people who need. But people like you here. And there is sort of, people will start mentioning something. And then someone else will like, no, we're not. It's obviously something is happening. And they're not including you in it. And you don't think that's because they think you're a snitch or anything. They think you're a nice young lady who's got a family. And so there's something happening. And you're kind of like occasionally seeing like people giving furtive glances and handing things to each other. So as I said, something's happening.
Is there anyone around that I know is quite chatty and a little bit loose tongue? Is it Steve again, or is it anyone else?
Steve has a wife.
Where is she? Is she around?
Yes. Actually, I think this works quite nice. What's Steve's wife's name?
Barbara.
Great. Barbara she works at the laundrette. So if you are, again, I don't know if our editor is going to pop up a map here, but so we're standing in the market, so on the South Island of Char Hollow. I said his lordship lives on the island up to the north, but off to the sort of northwest. So, God bless your soul. If you were heading off that way, there is a bit of the town which is called the Sheets, and that is an island which is mostly for the clothing. You know, the washers, the tailors, the seamstresses. They mostly live on that. So, again, if you're picturing sort of old, like, I don't know if you've ever been to York, but, you know, those old, you know, like the cobbled streets, which, of course, are absolutely just filled of blankets, sheets, stuff covered. So that's where Steve and Barbara live out there. So Barbara has come into town to sort of help. I think that's the thing, that your old ladies do their own laundry, because there's a little bit of like alleyway out the back. But, you know, sort of like if you had something like was really, you actually wonder if, no, I don't know if they would, because they said like your clothes from the adventure were very, very clean. Possibility that they gave them to someone like Barbara to go clean. That said, they're covered in blood and dirt and stuff. So, like we said, people are trying to keep their heads down. So there's, yes, in a roundabout way, you could probably go find Barbara. And Barbara, now I can say like Steve is quite a squat little man. Barbara is very big and strong, carrying, they love each other madly. They have been married for 40 years, the first chance they got to make it. So, that Barbara, again, sort of like the way it would work is that you would go and Barbara, like the washers would have their guild. You could come, hand your clothes over to them, they'll put it in the sacks, put it on the back of the cart with the goats, take it up, and then it will come back. You can collect it or you can go get it from. So the point being, yes, if you want to go talk to a bunch of old washerwomen, here's your opportunity.
Always.
Yes.
My old ladies might have a pickup I have to grab, so
absolutely.
I will definitely go check.
Actually, as you sort of put your hands in your pockets, you have a chit. You've got you've got a little coin. With on the back there is like a wash tub, and painted there's the number 7. So you can, as part of your chores, you can go and collect your washing. And indeed, Barbara is working there. I said large woman. Her arms are scarred with sort of, washing, hot water, lye, that thing. Always smells of soap. It's that sort of
really
thing.
Really nice smell, though. Lovely smell.
It is very pleasant. Yes, but it's just sort of like, yes, just because Doskvol is a dark, depressing place doesn't mean you can have a bit of kindness. So yes, a nice, strong smell. And she sees you and it's like, yes, Iris. Good to see you. Good to see you, Red.
All right, Bob.
How are your nanas?
They're good. They're pretty good. Yeah.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Yes. Now let me think. What was it? 7.
Yeah,
yes.
Petty,
takes again. Big head. Takes it. Right. Number 7. Michael. 7. And one of their many children is like, right, Mum.
Yeah. All right, Michael.
Again. Yeah. All right, Miss Iris.
All right, mate.
Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
Hope your arm's better. Don't play with knives. That's what Ma says.
Yeah, it's a good lesson to learn, Michael. To learn from my mistakes.
Michael is all of 12. And is, to be honest, taking more of his mother. He is big. He is a well-built 12-year-old from carrying all those It's a dangerous business.
A buff child.
Buff child, hard living, and it's sort of like weird thing with like going. There's this family business, but also like Stephen, who then sells charms. So there's that sort of weird thing of like going. he had, again, these people. You've known these people ever since you were tiny. He was a charm, and that was the thing that he would go over to the sheets and try and talk up the pretty 18-year-old washerwoman, and now it's 40 years later.
Got many children.
There are many children. Yeah.
I lose track.
Barbara is conducting business while sort of, I assume you're waiting around to sort of talk to her. Where, and again, sort of like people coming up and she's like, all right, good to see you, Dave. Right, okay. Yeah. It's 12, great, come get that in a couple of days. So yes. Yes, Iris, my dear.
Something feels off, Bob.
What do you mean?
Is everyone all right? Something's going on. What's got up people's...
There's always something going on in Charlo.
Yeah, but the hackles seem a little bit up more than usual. You know what I mean? Everything all right? You know everything. You know everything, Bob.
Go on, make a roll.
I don't have anything in sway.
It does. What would you like to roll?
It's sway or consort. I have consort.
Interesting. Consort, socializing with friends. Yeah.
My friend?
Friend.
Oh, it's my friend.
Yeah, sway's like when you're trying to convince them, you're trying to be charming. I don't think you are trying to be charming. I think you're just sort of like, hey, what's up? Yes. So
Something's up, mate.
Yeah, roll consort.
What is it? Is it controlled or risky?
Possibly
Not desperate.
No, definitely not. Maybe a bit risky, but you're not in danger, but you're asking.
Well, something's going on. Boop, boop. A 6. Boom! Finally. That is definitely not a fail. Ha 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 ha.
Iris, that's a dangerous question you're asking.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone all right?
Well, I mean, you're looking around, you're looking at the number of people who are, caught up in the machinery of the boss, or, no one's got enough. I mean, some people were struggling even to get enough coppers together to pay for their own laundry, dirty clothes, and there is talk of revolution.
Again?
Of anarchy.
Who started that?
Well, again, I'm going from the book here, which is just very exciting just to go, oh my goodness. I'm making sure how much do you know about Scotland?
Not enough.
Yeah,
not enough.
Is there anything you'd like to make a roll on that there?
What was it?
Scotland.
Scotland. Is that the people in the house?
Well, no, that's the people in the house are the Strangfords.
Okay.
Scotland, I will give you, if you're not rolling, is definitely a place. It's a country. It's
an actual. Oh, okay. Would survey or study? Oh, the survey is a locational situation to understand what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, survey would. I'd say study would be like if you went and reading up. Survey is you kind of observing again, like what's been happening over the last few months.
I'm gonna pop that. Is that risky? Sounds more risky.
Should we say risky? I mean, it is kind of you're like, hey, what?
Yeah. Going on there?
Yeah.
That's a 2. Okay.
Scotland. So Scotland is off to the west, across the sea. It's not where the kitsune mask came from.
Okay.
So like Scotland is. It's again from. I think this is the thing that as you started like finding out a little bit more, your nanas are like, you don't need to know. That's not a nice place. Scotland is a very cold, icy place. It's full of mountains and tundras. The inhabitants are very, again, pale, red-haired, sort of. But, and this is the big thing, Scotland is one of the few places in the world that hasn't had the mark of the Imperials upon it. They're holding out. And it is, I think this is a little thing about like going, this is difficulty between like Barbara wants to tell you information, but also it's quite dangerous. So I'm going to kind of like work through. Now you're like, you've been seeing a lot of like anti-Scotland propaganda around,
Okay.
especially like when you go to, if you go to Kellen's, which is like the big pub. You know, people seem to be people who have been living here. They're sort of turning on each other. You know, but the Scovlands are very proud of their heritage, and that's a weird thing that something's kicking off. To the extent that some buildings have been broken into. Like I said, this is not a place where you attack one of your own people. But now, if these buildings are getting attacked because they're connected, but there's also now the feeling of machine breakings as well. And some people like that, and people don't like that, because if the machinery run by the bosses is getting broken, that means that people don't get work and they don't get the coin. But at the same time, if they're not working because it's dangerous, how else are you going to ensure change outside of violence? So Barbara, in a roundabout way, and quietly tells you that there is a revolutionary group led by one of the Scovlands of the city, putting together an anarchist group to destroy the system. So, and then she kind of like this, but you don't get involved in that, you hear? It's dangerous work for dangerous people. And you've got two sweet old ladies who need you. So don't you know, starts poking you like you stay out of this, Miss Iris, you understand?
Right. Well, if you're in danger, Barb, I've got contacts. You know, if you need my help, if you're in danger, and your babes are in danger, you know.
You look up. One of Barbara's older sons, again, hench, Daffyd, sort of like is looking at you and then looking at his mum, and it's got a scowl on, and she kind of clocks this and is like, we'll be fine, Iris. They take care of their own. Daffyd is still.
I'm rubbish with people. I'm just like, yeah. Look after your mum and the others.
I'll do everything in my power to take care of my family.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do, but be careful, yeah?
All right.
Or who am I going to end up channeling, yeah? If anything happens, I don't want any of you lot popping up.
He clutches at something around his neck.
Yeah.
It's the inward version of like grabbing the crucifix. A lot of people have, and that's the thing. His father sells the charms, so it's very clear. And I think again, this isn't like a thing you not notice. They're all wearing ghost charms around their necks.
Don't use that against him.
Yeah,
I don't want to end up talking to one of you all wibbly bobbly and ghosted. All right.
Yeah, that's actually quite a sort of not a weak spot, but you know, if you're going to pick on something, if you turn into a ghost, and that's the sort of weird thing that you have actually dealt with one of his siblings, that they have spent money, that one of his brothers was caught in the machinery and was crushed, and it was too loud that they didn't hear him. And the story being that, because like the official story is it was too loud, we couldn't hear him screaming. What everyone else says is they didn't want to stop the line. That would have cost money. So you are living in a powder keg of all the things that are happening in Doskvol. And I'd say that's the sort of thing, like, for saying, like, your ignorance here wasn't there was a problem here that people are trying to fix. It's that you didn't realise that this has sort of happened before. There's always someone, but the fact that more people are talking about it. So, as we're talking about plot hooks, this has propped up the the anarchists.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll break it down to you. There are anarchists in this place. A lot of the people who seem to be involved possibly live near the sheets.
Yeah.
So if you were to look for the anarchists, the sheets would be a good place. And I mean, I don't want to teach you to suck eggs. Daffod.
Yeah.
Daffod is definitely a contact.
Clocked.
Yeah.
Block. I'm just
again,
gonna give him a really hard look and just tap my.
He looks. Again, he's 19 and not the brightest, but he's it's the sort of thing that his dad would say he's a good lad.
Mm. Yeah,
He's also strong. He means well. Yeah. Again, sort of like he's not a bad kid.
No.
But if you were told, we know you know how your brother died a horrific death, we can stop that.
Yeah.
Cool. You've given something else for the old ladies to worry about.
Yeah, wonderful.
Amazing. So there you go. I have to say, folks, I'm also loving the fact that, like, having done 2 episodes of like, oh, this is cult business, it's quite fun to go, this is the other stuff that's going on in the city. You know? It's not all just a handsome man eating Kellogg's down in his basement.
Stealing your Kellogg's.
I've got some lovely Kellogg's. Oh, Rice Krispies for me, Lord Sherlock. Get these Lucky Charms out of here. I can't deal with the marshmallows, they get in my teeth. Sorry. You have you've got your vampire charm. You have collected your old ladies, and again, it's a considerable, like, if you think about laundry bag, it's quite it's not light. In fact, Barbara asked if you want one of her boys to help you take that back.
I'm all right. You know I'm all right. I got it. I got it. I know you're busy.
No. I mean, I've got something for the boys to do. Michael's like looks up and does the kind of like.
I know you're the strongest, Michael, but I got to try and build up. I got like you. I've got to try and build up like you, mate.
He does the young boiler wiggle. Like, yeah. It's not like a crush thing, but it's sort of like I am strongest. And you're like, as you're walking away, you can see him like popping, like, and then you just hear David going, "Stop punching the wagon." He's like, "Sorry." Cool. You have your laundry. You have your charm. I would also sort of say you managed to pick up some other sort of like you had like a little shopping list of like there's you've got more bacon. That said, are you going to cross Savoy's? No, you made the choice to go to a different butcher than because I realized I said he was the vet.
No.
I said he was the vet. He's not the vet. He's definitely a butcher.
Oh God.
Yeah. As I said, like, it might be worth you trying to invest in an asset. Because you might need to find. I realized last time I let the others sort of heal themselves, but then I was like, no, this is officially you need to talk to a doctor or someone who can.
I don't want a vet. I want.
No, but that's the thing. Like, by that, I would even say sort of, I'm willing to start a clock for you. That not so, like, let's say 6 parts. So you can invest in your downtime, which will be after this, into looking into trying to find a medic. And I would probably say that would be a level. Cross Savoy is a level 0 doctor, so you're always at disadvantage. Level 1 would be next up. I think if you're willing to pay, you could get a level 2. But that would cost you a coin each time. You can also, that's the thing, when you're doing your healing, if you're willing to pay 1 coin, that would be critical. So that would be 5 parts. So you could. The reason I didn't put that out there is because you went to a butcher.
A vet butcher.
Vet butcher. I'd also like to point out there are probably better vets
Yep.
in
Yeah.
the place. It's quite funny because they just were like, again, they went to him because your hand was open,
Yeah.
and he was open at that
Yeah.
time.
I panicked. It's fine.
You panicked, and I'm going to be honest. They saved your
They
hand,
did. Yeah.
You know.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry.
No, they're not happy with themselves, and you get that feeling. Bless them, that they want to have enough money to send you to a good
I know.
doctor, but they don't have.
Yeah,
that
they would
money
if they could. I know.
because no one is coming to Madden Fortunia's Spirits and Wonders, which we end up back at. You've brought back your clothes. I think we're back in your little kitchenette, with your rackety, your mismatched free chairs, and they are separating out. You're seeing a lot of old lady petticoats
It's
and
normal.
stockings,
Yeah, I've seen it all.
and also your various scarves, shawls, your undergarments
These.
again. Where just like that they've paid extra for like a wool wash, and the colours. And I think you picked up some wool from the market.
Yep.
So there are various.
They're always well stocked.
Yes,
they're well
they
stocked.
are crocheting. they are currently crocheting away. It is probably coming up to after lunch. You came back. You made them. What would you make for lunch?
Or just sandwiches. I suppose
you bought
cucumber sandwiches.
Nice. That's good because you went to the baker's. Yep. You got some fresh meal. And yes, it's nice. It's again. The cucumbers aren't the best, and the bread's not the best, but it's butter, and so like you put it together, and having gone to two fancy parties in the last month where I think you've had magnificent food for probably one of the first times in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of that weird thing of now you're going, I know what like proper fresh food tastes like. It's
satisfying as I eat.
Yeah. So, says Edith, how's the market?
Oh, busy as usual. Busy.
Yes. Always someone who needs something, right?
Always.
Just eating that sandwich.
Yes. I'm just gonna say, if you go out next time you go out, just be careful. Something. Let's stir in the pot again.
Right.
Stir in the pot again. Just be careful if you go out. Right?
Oh, sort of. What sort of things happening?
Well, every few years it comes up again. Uprising.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah.
Uprising again.
Yeah, again. Yeah, they don't learn from last time, But I don't know. This one feels a little different.
Okay.
Be careful.
We always are, dear. But we'll be extra cautious. And forewarned is forearmed, correct?
That's the one.
Yes, you've put a little bit of a dampener on the.
Not the most cheery.
No, and you realise that they are looking at you again. That sort of, and looking at each other, and then looking at you a little bit, and then sort of eating there.
Yes. I didn't get anything on the scarf. Got it? What? What's?
No, we're just. As you say, you Edna's like, not, and you're like, no, Edna, you're telling us to be careful, but you're not being careful yourself. You're going out there with those strange friends of yours, and you're getting your hands shot, and you're tearing your knees, your stockings. You're getting runs in your stockings. It's not safe, my dear Iris.
No, but it gets us money. Raising the coin.
There are other ways to get coin. Good, honest ways, like running scams.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there's not many people coming through the door right now.
there isn't.
No.
So I have now said that Edith is perky,
No.
and Edna is a bit more dour. You know, Edith's got more mischief to her. So Edith is sort of like smiling to herself a little bit, like, ha ha, taught my sister a lesson there, and sort of like looks at you, and Edna's like, no, but it goes for all of us. We must all be very careful, especially if young Iris is going around and poking at hornets. We'll get stung if the hornets. She's like, yes, we'll get stung if there's hornets.
Yeah. Well, I don't think a vampire is a hornet, my love, but you know.
Shush. And they both grab at their charms. Shush. Definitely shouldn't be dealing with those sorts of things, you know. Especially in this kind of business. You know how dangerous they are.
Oh, I've heard. But it sounds like you do, though. Ladies?
as you put your plate back down. Pardon?
Yeah, I noticed everything, my loves. What have you dealt with them before?
What would you like to roll, Scarlet?
I would do sway, but I don't have through.
I mean, you're welcome. It'll be a disadvantage.
I don't want it. I've got consult. I'm rolling consult.
Okay.
What is it controlled? My ladies.
They are your ladies. You're asking. Basically, you're. I don't think you've really asked them about their pasts before.
I haven't.
You know.
No, not that much.
No.
So risky.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Effect? Ooh, would that be great if it's a big? Okay.
I'd say it's a big thing, and I'm going to be honest. Like the way you're asking is quite impetuous. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're being quite rude, really, to these nice old ladies.
It
so,
happens sometimes. Yeah, happens.
Yeah, but
4.
okay.
It's a 4.
So you're waggling your. It's been a day of.
Too.
Yes, I was going to say, it's been a day of people like waggling fingers in your face and poking at you, and you start waggling, and you basically say, oh, yeah, I know something's going on here. And both of them are... Edith in the Cerulean, the playful one, looks quite ashamed, you know, sort of. But Edna Mask, you know, and that sort of, and okay, you're doing this with your one good hand. And so, yeah, so she kind of takes hold of your finger and gently like puts it, and I was like, I would suggest, young lady, if you don't want to lose that finger, you would stop wiggling it in old ladies' faces.
Story there. You like telling me stories.
It's true. Edith says we do quite like telling her, and I think she does deserve to know a little bit.
It might keep me safer if I know more.
I'll go put the kettle on. said Edith.
That means something good's coming. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh.
You said. And again, like I said, like the kitchen is like 10 feet that way.
It's
You know,
tiny.
it's crap. She's not, but she's very sort of like. Edith starts like pouring the water out and whistling, and then sort of like, and Edna sort of. Like we said, like, for the stupid layman, these are identical women. You know? But Edith, there's a more a sort of slight roundness to her face, more jolly.
Mhm.
Edna's eyes, there are more wrinkles, but there's sort of like the
Laughter
sharp-
lines and frown lines.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Edna has clearly they've lived the same life, but Edna has sort of taken on the stress of it. You know.
Yeah.
They haven't really told you about how they found you. You have always known that you're not their biological granddaughter. That's been established, and I think that was the problem, that Edna has been sort of like, you know, nope. You remember being tiny, like, and crawling around the shop. You've never known any other house than this, and Edna being sort of like slightly cold and like, but Edith always being the one who's like, oh, you know, kept giving you biscuits. And it's like,
the good
nope.
ones.
Yeah. If she keeps eating biscuits, her teeth are going to rot in her head, you know. And then one day, a really big dog chased you, and this is one of your big memories of both Edith and Edna bounding out and going, get out of here, you know, waving their sticks, and Edna being the one who scooped you up and held you, and sort of like, and after that it changed, you know, sort of like, she sort of like, you must have been about 4, you know, but they haven't really talked to you about where you came from. But Edna starts talking. Well, obviously, we have had involvement in the world that is the city, and that neither of us are able to commune with the dead. Not for want for trying, no, because obviously it's incredibly dangerous and very risky. We have had some time of trying to... I think you need to see something. Edith's like, oh, we're finally showing her. Okay, marvelous.
What?
Come upstairs.
Okay.
You're. I shall keep. I'll keep an eye on the tea. I think. Are you here? Sort of like, I think there must be biscuits here. You know? So Ed leads you up again. They're both like 5'0", crumpled up little ladies. Takes you upstairs to their bedroom, and you haven't been in here a lot, probably since sort of reaching adulthood. I mean, there's been a few times when you were tiny and you just got scared in the night, and then you'd fall asleep in their bed and then wake up back in your own, you know, sort of like. But you go in and it is very tidy. 2 single beds, next, like bedstand next to each other, just very, very tidy, very prim. You also notice that there is a drawing that you did when you were small that they have had framed, they put up on the wall. What did you draw?
Probably me holding their hands, in between them holding their hands.
Absolutely.
In our house.
Yes, it's very sweet because, you know, it's you holding the hands of these 2 old ladies. There's something in the background.
There's something spooky in the background.
There's sort of like in one of the windows. There's like, again, like something pressed against it, which takes you in, and sort of there's a large sort of wardrobe, and Edna opens it, and again, it's you know, cardigan, shirts, trousers, cardigan. They're obviously wearing each other, you know, sharing the clothes, similar, very similar, almost indistinguishable apart from the different coloured cardigans. There is Edna sort of like slightly sort of like, oh, she's old, but sort of struggles and like pushes the back of the wardrobe, which clicks.
Yeah.
And pulls out a small trunk, sort of then takes that. Like, well, I was hoping that you would never have to see what was in this. Edith has wanted to show it to you for every major holiday. Your birthday, our birthday, I hope that this doesn't make you feel any different about us. And again, it's a considerable size trunk. It's not like huge, but hands it to you. It's sort of like you're holding it in both hands. And now you've been given that. And she's sort of like very creakily, hand on a chair, gets herself back up to her feet and sits in the chair and sort of gestures for you to sit on the bed.
Okay. Sit with my legs crossed. Trunk in the middle.
You open it up.
Yep.
Inside, there are two pairs of goggles, very similar to like what you have, which allow you to see the dead.
Uh-huh.
There's also old sort of vials of various potions used up, few charms, but also newspaper cuttings. Newspaper cuttings showing two very curvaceous, tall, beautiful women standing, holding weapons, like grinning, like, yeah, we know we're hot shit. Edna and Edith Dante, ghost hunters. We've never Dimmer sisters. But the Dimmer sisters didn't have a terrible idea that when you are hunting the dead, it's always good to have a family member have your back. We weren't able to commune with them. We merely were able to hunt them and destroy them. And the spirit wardens, well, they didn't quite like our methods, but they did appreciate what we did. And then Edith got hurt. She doesn't like to talk about it. And Iris, again, these ladies are usually in, high,
lots of layers.
Lots of layers.
Mm.
You do vaguely remember tiny little tot looking at sort of like the Edith's side, which is scarred. Like it looks like something has sort of grabbed her by the ribs and squeezed and crushed. So it's sort of like, and yeah, you're not stupid. You know that Edith walks with a bit of a limp.
Yeah.
But Edna also walks with a bit of a limp.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like going, Edna's limp looks more theatrical. It looks, Edith probably needs that stick. Edna, again, struggled to get. Edna has just got on her knees, opened and got up again. A bit of help. It's probably more limber, but is. So, Edith was harmed by a powerful spirit, not necessarily a vampire. We don't, and I thought I was going to lose her, but I managed to hurl myself and her into the canal, and we just escaped. But the family was lost, apart from the daughter. You look deeper into the box.
Mm-hmm.
In Inferno claims household.
Mm-hmm.
The Marwood house was destroyed during an exorcism gone wrong. Dante's sisters to blame. No surprise.
Huh. What were you? The spirit did this. I'll pick up the bit about the fire. Spirit did this.
Spirit did that, yeah. Correct.
Okay.
I managed to get Edith out, and by the time we got back, the building was ablaze. And hurrying in, we found you in your crib. Everyone else, as far as we know, your mother, your father, your sister, they were lost. And we thought it was only right that we care for you and love you, because we clack, but we do love you. We love you so much, and I don't like it. I don't like what you're doing. It's not safe, and I know that's hypocritical of me, and I know that's wrong. And Iris, you're looking at the picture, the pictograph of these two beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
They must be in their 30s.
Yeah.
And these are old women who you would think are in their 90s, but then they're not. They're aged.
Yeah. They've always been old. To me, they've always been old.
They've always been old. Yeah. And you know what ghosts can do to people. You know what stress can do to people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, to be honest, the terror of keeping a secret for.
Yeah.
I mean, how old are you? 19? 20?
Sure.
You are years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20s somewhere.
You're early 20s. Yeah. Let's say the fire was 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
So again, these old ladies who have aged, a bit like Star Wars, where you look at young, sweet Ben Kenobi, and then like 18 years later, he's Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Time.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, a hard. The Dante sisters seemed wealthy and seemed they were one of the finer ghost hunters in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're living in a tiny sort of 2 up, 1 down, and next to a parlour. It's quite a way to fall. There you go.
Okay.
I assume you have more questions, and I hope you understand why we didn't.
I mean, questions? Yeah, this was just, I suppose there is. I mean, doesn't change anything. You're still my family. You are my family.
Are you looking back to her?
Yeah, I'm like sheepishly looking.
Yeah.
You are my family.
Again, Edna, stoic Edna. There's just tears pouring down. But that's sort of like battle axe looking.
Mm.
And she's not sobbing, she's crying, but she's just looking at you with such hard love in her eyes of like going, I don't, someone who's like, I do not want you to get hurt, and I want to make sure that you are strong and prepared for everything that life throws at you. but I'm worried that I did it wrong. You know, so like going. And she clearly was prepared for you to hate her, because that would make sense. And that's something you can work with. That if you hate her,
I've probably never seen her cry before.
no. Edith
cries. Cries all the time. Like
Edith
cries. Soppiest.
Yeah, soppiest, sweetest old dear.
Yeah.
Edna, never.
No. I'm gonna hug her. I know she doesn't like the hugs much.
No,
but she
doesn't.
gets a hug.
But you get this bony bird woman, you know, is holding you so tight and just sort of buries her head into your neck.
Yeah.
And then you just you feel another pair of arms coming around you.
It'd be weird if she wouldn't pop up.
Yeah, I put the tea on the side. Oh my goodness. And then you just hear, we were so hot. Edith, we were. Look at us.
You still are. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Again, they were curvaceous, beautiful. Yeah, no, not tall, but that sort of
buxom ladies.
Buxom, mischievous. Again, sort of like what you assume young Edith is that's a weird, like, flirtatious, sort of like, yeah. and it's kind of standing there a little bit like, like, trying to be, like, imperious, but it's, like, holding slightly too hard to her weapon, like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So there you go. Pop of plot hooks. Dante sisters, ghost hunters from 20 years ago. Marwood household fire. Seems that you had two parents and a sister. You are also assumed to be dead. The article relays that no survivors were found, but doesn't relay bodies, but no survivors. Marwood was a academic at the college. Taught literature. His wife was a painter, and he had two daughters. They don't name the daughters, but young daughters. It's that sort of thing where they're not high enough in society to be like, it's like a column. This is tragic. Also, the Dante sisters were involved. And if you do go looking further through this box, there are no articles dated after that. Okay. Very clearly they stopped. Yeah. Because they had got a baby.
A wee babe!
A wee babe!
A wee babe! It was probably seeing ghosts of the crib.
Yes, that is kind of relayed to you, that there's the possibility that what you went through opened, you in your swaddling clothes opened your eye. Because it was established that a ghost started the fire.
Okay. Okay. I will investigate that at some point.
Oh, please do. This is what I say. I love the idea of like going, oh, this isn't cult. I can safely say this has nothing to do with old gods. This is to do with the terrible city that is Doskvol that has literally not seen sunlight in 1,000 years.
I will investigate that while trying to keep my identity secret.
Quite. It's not like you're a princess.
Yeah.
Again, if that information gets out, that people would kind of be like, sort of. But there was wealth there, sort of like your father was a good act. No one ever placed teachers enough, but he was tenured at Doskvol University.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's 20 years ago, but there's a lot of crusty old professors. If you could come in saying that you are actually... I mean, it would be very odd, because the people who were there were like, no, you're not. You're dead. We all know that you died. But also, established, a lot of other weird things happen in the city, and ghosts are such a common occurrence that you could just...
No, I'm researching this ghost that sets fires, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of a little bit giving you that, but yes, that definitely as a hook to get into the college. If you could say, "Oh, I'm investigating. I've been hired," and Ma would, the not even the obituary, but the newspaper article. He was well liked, and his wife was also, as I said, was a painter. Sort of like a decent family. Yeah. Oh, we love plot hooks.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, stuff.
Ooh, stuff. It's not all spooky masks, although...
Telling us to do spooky things? No.
There we... I think as we are coming to is there anything... Because anything else you'd like to do before we start wrapping up tonight?
I just want to calm my old ladies, reassure them that they are my family. You guys are my family. Nothing's going to change that.
You go downstairs, have your lovely cup of tea, and it is a lovely cup of tea, and there are biscuits, and Edna... It's weird. She doesn't seem ashamed that she was crying, but is that sort of thing of like going... You can kind of see it's like, I would appreciate if no one mentioned that I got
we
emotional.
never do. If she shows any kind of emotion, we don't point it out unless we're trying to piss her off.
This is the fascinating thing that, and I think this is one thing like we're building up, like the Madame Fortuna is such a sort of like over the top weird character that these women play interchangeably, but behind the scenes they are. This is the thing, you have spent your entire life with them and you could tell them apart. Again, I think this is the lovely thing, like if this was like animated, if the other two met these women, they would have no idea, but for you, it's almost like they're played by different actresses.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Which is wonderful. Yes, you calm down. Edna's like, we're not doing... Edith starts just telling you Dante's sisters' stories.
I lap it all up.
Yeah, it is exciting, and it is scandalous. And you thought now that if you had any questions about Miss Shaw Lovers, the scandalous book, Edith might be able to tell you some things. Definitely not in front of Edna. And it's clear that Edna's not a paragon here. That she cuts off stories, but they have clearly, as young...
Spill the tea.
Yes.
I want all the tea.
You get to hear some scandalous things about the men and the women and the theys that they have saved, seduced.
And all the juicy gossip.
Edna keeps trying to cut it off, but some of it keeps filtering through. Like, one of the big things is when they went undercover as goat racers to work out, the haunted at the Colosseum.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing again. I just got a picture of them in their like racing gear, and that's a photo that comes out of the box. Of it's like mysterious racers win race, and again it's they're wearing helmets, like posing. Like one of them is very clearly like trying to sneak off, and the other's like, nope, we're getting our picture. And it is relayed that they did in fact fight a ghost that was trying to... A lot of this is like Scooby-Doo style stuff. Yeah. It's like, there was a terrible ghost at the Colosseum, and they fought the ghost and they brought it down. As I said, they again, making it clear, they do not have the powers you have.
Mm-hmm.
I got too excited thinking about all the
Way
racing.
too excited. Well, it's all pretty exciting.
They again, using the goggles like you do to be able to, although you are able to see them because you have your attuning power, you can see it naturally, but it helps you sort of focus.
And
but,
a little bit more clarity.
Yeah. You can constantly see the whispers, the vapors, but the goggles hone it like glasses. Yeah, you can always see the blur and feel it. You've also, because I've said you've got the thing about like feeling it in your mouth, your teeth. You know. Oh, it's getting too hot, folks. This is why we're wrapping up. I got excited creating it.
It's all right. Their adventures are just so exciting.
I just pass out with excitement about hot redheads. Yes, you have a natural ability to find and attract ghosts that your nanas did not. They would kind of just have to walk into the space and like using their charms and hoping and like going, that thing just fell over. I think it might be the ghost. Yes, as I said, like Edith wants to show you the ghost mark and never refuses. But it is a very nice, things have been put out into the open that haven't been talked about in 20 years. And when you come down for breakfast in the morning, there's an ease to it.
And I lapped it all up. I listened to every single word, and I had fun with it, and I asked questions, and I laughed at the funny bits.
You get it.
Yeah.
And all is well for 2 weeks. You don't hear from the serpent, or Norm, or Rafe. Until one day, you get a knock at the door.
Yeah.
And there's a stranger standing there who says, "Terribly sorry, Miss Iris. Our God wants to talk to you." And that is where we shall stop for the evening. Well, that certainly happened, it did not. Such lovely crimes. Now, if you have enjoyed what we've put out for you here this evening, you'll find us playing Dungeons & Dragons at Roll Together RPG. That's Mondays and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. UK time, and on Fridays we play other TTRPGs, such as Blades in the Dark. Now, all our shows can be found at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are podcast versions of all our shows available, where all good podcasts are available. Simply search for Roll Together RPG. Now, massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. I can't do the heart symbol, but I do adore every single one of you. Now, there's a link in the chat if you feel like you want to join these fine folks by donating one of your local currency, which, as we have well established in the world of Dungeons & Dragons, is worth 1 goat. We'll be absolutely delighted to join you. As previously mentioned, they made us a Discord, they made us a wiki. They are top. Thank you very much to our supporters and our sponsors. Don't forget, if you search on social media, we are Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and don't let the blue coats catch you.